Hey everybody. Okay, so I deleted a couple of videos. They were way too long-winded, and here we go. So I'm going to make a consolidated video about, okay, it's on a practical level. Narcissists, gaslighting, and hoovering. Gave a lot of personal examples in the last one, and like I said, it's not about me, it's about you. So let's make it about you. Also, this is going to be the last video in the next little while. I have a few things that I have to concentrate on. Very important, actually. So here we go. And again, love y'all. All right. So, but I'm going to put it out there. Hopefully, you'll share back. All right. With your observations, with your opinions. Like I said, like, dislike, whatever it is. Feedback is appreciated. Okay. So, narcissists are pretty much coreless beings. Think of a spoiled brat between the ages of, I don't know, 3 and 7. All right. A kid who's learned how to read their environment properly, who's learned how to read people properly. I think narcissists are born and not made. That means that they are not born with a vibration of love. All right. So anything dealing with love, truth, courage is not possible for a narcissist. So if you think of that little kid who stomps their feet or manipulates people around them, I'll give you an example. A kid who falls on the ground, scrapes their knee. If no adult is around to go, you know what? The kid typically gets up, dusts off their knee, doesn't have an audience, and moves on, right? Like, I'm not talking about major injury, just a little scrape. The moment that an adult goes, the kid will start freaking and crying. Now, not all kids are like that, but a lot of them are, all right? So I don't think narcissists are rare either. And I think narcissists, like I said, are born. And you can see it even in the behavior of small children. I'd made a video about empaths versus narcissists. So, and people didn't really like the video, or a couple of people didn't like it, a couple did, but whatever. Again, here we go. This is my observation. So you can have two kids, siblings, and one might be an empath, one might be a narcissist. They both, and when I say empathy, I'm saying they have the capacity to understand what another person is going through. They're both very good at it, empaths and narcissists. The difference being that narcissists get off on other people's pain. So they will feel what the other person's feeling, but they'll rejoice in pain, whereby an empath wants to help everybody. Okay? So that's pretty much a narcissist in a nutshell. When they become adults, all of those exteriorized spoiled brat behaviors that you'd see in a child, like foot stomping, I want this, I want that, that like kind of rage, that hunger, that vortex, is kind of internalized, and they mask it very well. All right. So these are the masters of political correctness, niceness at the expense of kindness. An empath, on the other hand, is very kind. There's a difference between the two concepts, and in future, I'll come up with another video explaining that. But kindness has a core of truth and a core of love. Okay. And niceness doesn't have that. Niceness has to do more with projecting an image. Okay. So that's that. The perpetrators in mobbings are typically narcissists of the male or female variety. All right. Females typically do something called proactive aggression. That happened to me. That means that if there are women in the office, or a lot of women, if you dress better than them, if they perceive that you look better than them, or if you are smarter than them, they'll just try to steamroll you. Not all of them, but the narcissistic ones will. Why? Because they don't, or if you have some kind of vibe, they hate your vibe. Okay. So if you're an empath or an HSP, they will probably be attracted to you on the immediate, right? They'll read you really well, but they hate you. And they'll hate you for having that vibration. They'll actually try to usurp your identity in a way. Like, I had one of them who dyed her hair the same color, like my hair's a different color now, but who dyed her hair the same color, started dressing like me, and, tried to act like me. But again, they lack that vibration. The mask will fall off in time, but that's what it is. So they will be typically proactively aggressive towards you. So they're the types that start the smear campaigns and the gossip. Okay, so I had a couple of those. And then you'll have men. Men are reactively aggressive, male narcissists. So that means, you know what, if, say, for instance, you tell one of them that you're not going to follow their protocol because it's unethical, or you don't agree with something they said, they will take it very personally. That's another thing. Narcissists are extremely socially sensitive. Now, a lot of people say, well, an HSP is a highly sensitive person, so they're more sensitive than the narcissist. They're both sensitive, kind of like what I said at the beginning. The problem is, or the difference is, the narcissist is very sensitive to any social cue around them that they perceive as being disrespectful, all right? Or whereby they're not being adored or feared, right? So they're very socially sensitive. An HSP is socially sensitive. They're sensitive to the vibration around them, all right? The narcissist, because they're more socially sensitive to negative cues, they're very rejection sensitive, they scan their environments daily and they'll notice tiny little things, the way you talk, the way you dress. An HSP won't really notice that. HSP just wants everybody to be happy. Okay, narcissist actually thrives on division and misery. Our society is run by narcissists these days, and psychopaths. We'll get to that at another point also. So those are the players in the game. And then you have a lot of people who just follow suit, don't engage in critical thinking. Unfortunately, I think that's the majority of the population. And because the narcissist will engage in a smear campaign, you know what? A lot of these other people, I call them, they're like zombies, all right? They will just follow suit. They're the types who will, unfortunately, fall victim to any kind of social psychology strategy that will be presented below. Like, say, the conformity studies. They're the types that conform. They don't tend to challenge authority. Narcissists also tend to go for positions where they're in authority. So you'll see a lot of narcissistic managers and in certain fields, all right? So just think of anywhere where you can exercise a lot of power, you're going to find a lot of narcissists, all right? And in empaths, typically you'll have the caring professions, but apparently that's changing too. A lot of teachers go through mobbings, a lot of nurses go through mobbings, and it's so sad, right? In these caring professions where this stuff shouldn't be happening. So those are the players in the game, all right? Now, what's gaslighting? Gaslighting is a tactic that's typically used by narcissists to have the target of their rage, all right, start to doubt their own reality. All right. So for me, like in the movie Gaslighting, the husband wanted to hide some stuff from his wife. He started playing with the lights in the apartment. She was like, wow, the light went down. What's going on? And the husband would be like, no, it didn't. All right. So just try to picture it. Maybe it sounds familiar. I'm sure it does. For me, it wasn't lights. It was temperature in the office. All right. But again, that part's not important. It's just people kind of making an experiment out of you. Yes, it's frustrating. It's crippling sometimes if you don't have the centeredness to identify what's going on. So if you suspect, if you have that weird feeling in the gut, in the pit of your stomach that something's off, typically, more than typically, if the gut feeling says it's off, it's off. All right? So trust your gut. So gaslighting is a particularly ugly thing. Now, how do you fight a gaslighting? You don't fight it by playing into the game. It's impossible. By the time a gaslighting situation has happened, all right, typically it's, like I said, either proactive or reactive aggression. It differs in every case, all right? But typically it's because you did something to upset someone or you're a threat to someone in some way, shape, or form, all right? They just don't like your vibe. It's as simple as that. Now, all right, so gaslighting is going on. You know, if you're going to confront them directly and say, I think that you're, you know, like the wife in the movie, for instance. I didn't watch it, but still. If you're going to say, I think that you're playing with the lights, they'll absolutely deny it, all right? Or they'll go around saying, you know, if your behavior starts to change, say you were a great employee and now you're dissatisfied, it happens, okay? When you're going through this, you're not going to be really satisfied. My suggestion to you is as follows. It doesn't matter what your reputation is. Please take care of your character. What does that mean? Well, that means you don't have to convince anybody or confront anybody or ask anybody anything. Once you know and you feel that that's going on, trust in your instinct. It is going on. Try to minimize contact with these people as much as possible. Don't share the fact that you feel you're being bullied or mobbed, not with the people that you work with. You have no friends in the workplace. I can guarantee you that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going through mobbing. Trust me on this one. Engage in a lot of self-care, talk to neighbors, friends, look at resources on the internet, whatever you have to do to really try to take care of you. All right. And like I said, have faith in your own instinct. Now, once this has begun, a gaslighting situation has begun, there is no stopping it. A lot of people think that if they go to HR or if they go to management that they're going to help them. I can guarantee you another thing. This behavior in the office, once a gaslighting starts, you can be rest assured that management, HR, the union, they're all part and parcel of the whole thing anyways. Okay, and it's really hard to prove a gaslighting, even if you're a great writer and you've clocked every situation down. All right. The reason I tell you that you should definitely keep a journal of situations is prior to any kind of gaslighting situation happening, you could potentially stave off a mobbing by confronting the people that are rolling their eyes at you or saying offhanded things to you. If you go in prepared with, dates and a list of stuff, I'd say at least, like, say, 3 incidents. Okay. So the gaslighting happens, and again, my suggestion to you is to get out of the environment as soon as possible. Engage as little as possible with these people. Don't go to the barbecues. Don't help anybody. Don't offer your services. Just lay low. Stay quiet. What I did, I kid you not, because I didn't want to hear all of the negative stuff. They were saying so many bad things, not directly about me, okay, but things within earshot to put me down. So I had, you could put in maybe, I don't know, earphones, headphones, listen to music. I put in like heavy duty earplugs. So I didn't have to hear it and I did my work. All right. Another thing is when a gaslighting begins, and because management is involved, you can rest assured they're going to start to play with your work as well. They're going to start to pick on the tiniest things. They're going to just do things to try to squeeze you out of the environment. So my suggestion to you is talk to no one there. Get out of the environment as soon as possible. And trust in your instinct, all right? Engage in mindfulness as much as possible, etc., etc. Now, I mentioned that after mobbing, what happens sometimes is people from that environment will contact you, all right? And it's going to be bizarre. Again, try to engage as little as possible. It depends on who the players are. Somebody might, for me, it was a month after I left the environment that people started coming back. But, either block, delete. Sometimes you can reply and respond. I mean, it really does depend. But people will try to read what's happening with you. And they'll go and they'll feed the information back to, the bosses or managers or narcissists who started the mobbing. So that's why I say engage as little as possible. Expect that it's going to happen if you run into these people. Like I said, don't look down. They're just people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the population who are like this. But if they're going to all try to be nice or engage with you in some kind of heavy-duty conversation, I suggest that you don't do that. You don't want these people as your friends, and take care of you, all right? Be courageous, be strong, keep that core love. Love, respect, self-respect, self-love. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, folks. And again, though, if you do write, I will try my best to respond as soon as possible. And that's it. So, Foxy D, signing off. Namaste.